Hello there, this is Anupinder on Superbits Academy, and we are back with another video to discuss about how to simulate your own customized task scheduling algorithm in Cloudsim. This demo will be based on Cloudsim 3.0.3 release, and we will be discussing about the locations within code where you can fit in your scheduling algorithm. For demo purpose, we are using shortest job first algorithm, and we will be simulating it by making some changes in the configuration of one of the Cloudsim example. Just to make this demo easy and quick for you, I have already downloaded and configured the basic Cloudsim 3.0.3. In this demo, we will be making some changes in only two files. One is the Cloudsim example 6.java and another one is the datacenterbroker.java. So just to show you where they are. So if you look at this particular part, the Cloudsim task scheduling, I have already configured it for you. There are two different folders. One is the example and one is the source. Within examples, you will see there is a Cloudsim example 6.java, and within the source file, source folder, there you will find the datacenterbroker.java. Right now, for arranging the cloudlets as per the shortest job first, we are using the linear sort technique. So let's get started and see where the changes are going to be done to implement your own customized scheduling algorithm. So let me first minimize this particular project window. Now there are two files as I have said you. Right now, the first file in which the changes I'm going to make is the Cloudsim example 6.java, 6.java, right? So within this, I'm going to main method. The very first change which we need to make is I'm going to change the number of VMs to only one, so that we can actually see what are the different kind of changes which are going to happen in the final make span, right? Here, if you see, it is running for the 40 cloudlets, which is good enough for me. Now I'm going inside the cloudlets, right? By opening the open declaration part, right? And here I need you to focus on this length part. Now if you see, 40 cloudlets are going to be generated in one go, right? And each of them will have a length of 1000 instructions. Now 40 will be all homogeneous. I wanted to use a heterogeneous part so that I can actually simulate the shortest job first algorithm in a right manner. So what I do is I add a random sheet here so that I can generate a heterogeneous behavior for the cloudlets, which is basically tasks. So here I'm going to create the object of random class, right? If you see, it's from the java.util package. There I create a, let's say, a random obj equals to new and done. Right now, as I mentioned, that I need to have a heterogeneous behavior of my cloudlet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some random number to my length, right? So for that, I'm just making these small changes. Robj dot, the method which I'm going to use is the next int, right? And I give it a bound. So let's say I wanted that a random number should be generated from 1 to 2000, any number, right? So this is what I'm looking forward to. So with this particular change, one this and the another line, I'm going to get a random behavior for my cloudlets, right? Cloudlets length. That's the one of the most important thing. Now let me come back to the main method again. Now here, if you see, there is another thing which is happening, because we wanted to go for a shortest job first, which is most of the time a batch job submissions. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside this create VM method, and within that I'm going to change the cloudlet scheduler. If you see in the line number 63, cloudlet scheduler, it's a time shared. Right now I'm going to change it to the space shared, right? So that I can generate the similar behavior for my simulation, right? So here, if you see on the top, it says a small warning kind of thing where it says some import is not being used. So it's all because we have removed the time shared. So if you wanted to remove this, you can do that, right? So these are some of the changes which are supposed to be done within the Cloudsim example 6.java, because this is just only a small demo. So I've used it, and it will be very convenient for you to start with the same use case, and then later on you can move on towards your own solution. Now let me come back to the data center broker class. Now within this data center broker class, there are a few lines of code we need to add, and there is only one method in which you need to add those lines is submit cloudlets method, right? Which is a protected method, and you will find it somewhere around near the 356 line number, right? Now here, what changes do I need to make is I need to make changes corresponding to that whatever the cloudlets has been submitted while while initializing the Cloudsim example 6, all those cloudlets should be sorted in order of in ascending order for their length, right? Now to do that, we need to make a certain temporary list, and because as I said that I am going to use the simplest linear sort method, so for that we require two different lists here. Now just to tell you that this get cloudlet list is one of the method which can return me the complete cloudlet list which has been submitted while initializing the Cloudsim example 6. So this method I'm going to use to generate a temporary list for my this demo, right? So there are two lists which we are going to create. The very first list is the sorted list, which will be again an empty, and this list will be of the cloudlets type, right? So I say sorted list equals to, now because list is an interface, so you need to have something which is derived from that list, right? So I'm using cloudlets itself, right? Done. So this is the first list. Now this sort list will contain the sequence of my shortest sequence of my cloudlets which have with the length in ascending order, right? And then again I'm going to create let's say array list. It's up to us. If you want to go for array list here, that can also be done, right? Array list. Now it is asking me for cloud its type, so I'm going for cloudlets, and let's say I call it as temp list equals to new array list, and that is of cloudlet type, right? Now because I wanted to get the submitted cloudlets, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a copy of this particular line again, right? And after that what I'm going to do is I'm going to say for each cloudlet add the same thing. I'm just making an exact copy of that. I'm not going to change in the existing list, but I'm going to make a copy of it and then I make changes to it, right? And here I say enter the cloudlets, right? Now after this complete iteration is over, all the submitted cloudlets will be in my temp list, right? Now the actual fun begins here. Okay, so here the sorting process begins here basically. So total cloudlets equals to whatever the cloudlets size of the temporary list, right? Then I'm going to start with a simple loop. Let's say I equals to 0 and then I less than whatever the total cloudlets been fetched, and I plus plus. Great. Now within this, what I assume is whatever the first cloudlet in my temp list, that is the smallest one. I'm just assuming this. So I say cloudlet smallest cloudlet. It's just an assumption because we need to start with something, right? So I'm going to start with the very first element, right? So this is done. Now what I do is I am going to compare every cloudlet instance which is present in temporary list with this smallest cloudlet, right? Now if any other instance which has the lesser length will be actually replaced in this particular smallest cloudlet instance. So for that we need to write for cloudlet, right? Because let's say check cloudlet for each cloudlet instance in temp list, right? And here I'm going to check if smallest cloudlet dot get cloudlet length, because this is the method which is going to give me the instruction length of my cloudlet, right, is greater than check cloudlets length, right? If it is so, then replace smallest cloudlet with the latest instance, whatever it is. Okay, now the another thing, once the complete iteration is over and I find that okay, one of the smallest is with me after first iteration through all the templates, so what I do is I put that particular instance into the sort list sort list. So sort list dot add and smallest cloudlet, right? Now because it's only add, not all, it's only add. Now the next thing which you need to do is, because this template is going to be iterated for the total number of cloudlets, right? In that case, if I need to avoid this particular smallest cloudlet to be identified again, right? So what I do is I just simply remove it from the temp list, right? So this will help me to make this particular thing more simpler, right? So every cloudlet from the temp list will be moved to the sorted list, but it will be in the ascending order only, right? Now by the end of this particular complete iteration process, we will have a sorted list containing all the cloudlets, but in a ascending order of your instruction length. Now next thing what I need to do is I need to do one small change here. I need to just to make more clarity to you, I'm just commenting this line, and instead of this get cloudlet list, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put here sort list only, right? Previously it was working on the list which is submitted directly from the Cloudsim example 6 initialization process, whereas here after sorting the sort list will be provided. Now just to check that is my list is sorted or not, I'm just going to print this temporary I'm just going to put this temporary line of code just for the printing purpose. So what I do is count equals to 1, then for cloudlet, each cloudlet, print cloudlet in what, in sort. I'm looking to iterate through sort list, and here I'm going to use a log class of my Cloudsim project. So log dot print line, and within this print line what I'm going to do is I'm going to print two things. One is the cloudlet ID, and the second thing which I'm going to put is the length of, or you can say cloudlet length, right? And the count which I have mentioned above on the line number 381 is all to count that how many cloudlets are being traversed, right? So because I need to print this particular thing with the text, so I'm using concatenation operation here and dot, and here also what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use the concatenation operation, and I'm going to use print cloudlet dot get cloudlet ID, right? And after this again I'm going to use you can say print dot get cloudlet length, right? So in this way I will be able to print what the count, simple count, a serial number. Will be able to print the cloudlet ID, right? And I will be able to print the cloudlet length. Now the output which we are going to get is all corresponding to the ascending order of your sorted list, right? Now this part I did so that this count can be keep on increasing, and in this particular case the count will go from 1 to 40, right? So from our side all the additional code is done, and let's check it out by running the Cloudsim example 6 now. So initially it will take some time. Alright, so if you see, I bring it to the top. So here initialization is done and broker is created and VMs are also created, and after that if you see the cloudlet, the cloudlets which are there in the sorted list, they are as per the ascending order, which are basically starting from 1075 and go still somewhere around 2898. So this is what we look for. So these the 40 cloudlets were there, right? And now if we go and check more log, we see that they are submitted to the VM in the same order as they are here. So if you see cloudlet ID 24.26.3, and here also 24.26.3, then 35.29.36, then 35.29.36 and 5, and so on. So here you can see the cloudlets are being executed in the same manner, and this is the final output which we get. So I hope this makes a bit understandable for you that how easy it is to implement your own scheduling algorithm within Cloudsim part. This is one of the type of use case, and it is one of the most simplest one, right? People are working on a lot of meta heuristic techniques for sorting the cloudlets and then submitting it to the data center broker for further processing. This is the only place where you can actually call all those things. I've written my code here directly. If you wanted to spread your code across multiple classes for extensive calculations, you can do that, and then you can call those methods here by instantiating their class objects and so on. So this is how you can actually start working with the scheduling part on the Cloudsim, and this is one of the simplest thing which you can do. So this is it for the video and the demo too, and do let us know your feedback in comments. If you like to receive updates from us, then do not forget to subscribe to our channel, and thanks a lot and goodbye.